CAT scans produce 3D images of the inside of the human body. The instrument uses an energy source that emits a fan-shaped beam of X-rays and a receiver or X-ray detector on the other side that records a snapshot X-ray. Multiple snapshots are collected in one complete rotation and sent to a computer to create a cross-sectional image or slice of the body. Between rotation, the body is moved through the machine and increments with an image slide being computerized in each position. Every rotation here speeded up yields an image of a new slice as you move through the length of the target, in this case of the head of the person who is lying on the chamber. A simple slice model here would be a CAT scan of the planet Earth, but it wouldn't work because X-rays cannot penetrate the layers of the planet. So how do we know what's inside? Using seismometers as receivers and earthquakes as the energy source, which is similar to a tomography. To understand this process better, here we have a real-life tomography example.
A computer tomography, also named CT scan, involves a variety of systems to obtain a series of transversal images of the patient that are later evaluated as a whole by the doctor, which then offers the doctor formidable information of the three-dimensional anatomy. Now we're going to explain how the procedure is done. An initial X-ray of this patient revealed the fracture, but the doctor responsible is also worried if there is damage in the top of the spine, so a CT scan is being performed. The patient is now being placed in the CT scanner. The radiography uses a laser beam to place his head in precisely the right location. CT scanning is essentially an X-ray procedure, but the X-ray source is rotated around the patient through a circular scanning machine named gantry, to obtain many images from different angles. The result of the transversal images, which are named CATs, are reconstructed by a computer, and the successive CATs are presented in order to produce a two-dimensional map of the tissues of the body. Planning is done by taking a pilot scan. The patient is moved through the gantry. The source remains stationary on one side. This produces an image similar to a planar X-ray. This pilot scan is taking what's called the sagittal plane. We're going to do thin sections through the base of the skull, and then we are going to do wider ones as we go towards the head and the top of the skull. So now we can do an actual scan, and then we can send the images to the radiologist. Now we are going through the images that we have just got, and we can enter the grade levels so we can see different parts of the anatomy. Here we look at the actual brain by highlighting the areas we are interested on and making everything else darker. The dark lines in the skull represent fractures. In this case, the concern of the potential for injury on the top of the spine is dismissed, but there is a concern that there might be some damage to the brain.
This type of scanning offers excellent information in the different processes such as infectious malformation, tumor, or traumatic in the cranium, thoracic cavity, lungs, musculoskeletal and genitourinary systems, spinal column, and abdominal viscera.